Hello and welcome to the EG1000 tutorial, the part assembly. In this tutorial, we are going to draw 5 parts in Fusion 360. It is used for the submission at the end of the tutorial that you have 3 drawings, one with orthographic and isometric, one with section assembly, and one with inline for assembly drawing. So now let's start to have a look at the 5 parts first. So here are the details with dimensions. We have bracket, base, roller, bush, and spindle. In general, we have to start from something like number 1 detail like bracket first, but it seems to be more complicated than the other details. So I will start from the base. I will draw the front cross section first, and then I will extrude it by the depth to get the detail. So now let's start with Fusion 360. In the first step, I need to make a sketch, and because I draw the front view, so I click on the front plane. Now I use my line tool to draw the outline of the cross sections. The dimensions of the cross sections are given in the project views. So just have a look and calculate the required dimension for your drawing. Now I finished the half of the cross section, and what I need to do is I do the fillet over here. However, if I do the fillet with the dimensions, the radius of 3 millimeters, it will tell me an error. Yes. So because it is bigger than, because the fillet is too big, so therefore one line will disappear. So therefore you shouldn't use fillet for this. The best way to do is draw the center of the fillet first, and then draw a circle, and then you trim the unnecessary part. Just you trim or press the key T. Please try to use the hotkey because it will save you a lot of drawing time. And now I delete the unnecessary part. Now I can just mirror to get the whole cross section. So I select everything and deselect the middle line. Now I can just select the middle line, get the middle line, and I have everything done. Now I just delete the middle line because I don't need it for the cross sections, and I click on the corner between the top, front, and right view, and I finish my sketch. Now I can extrude it, and the depth is 74 millimeter. Now in the next step, I need to do the fillet for the corner. So I just click on fillet and then select the corner I want to make it round. Please use the orbit to rotate to the other corner if you couldn't see it. And that is, the fillet radius is 12 millimeters. And please go back to the corner we want to have a look. That's the default view for me because it's easier for me to have a look at detail. Now in the next step, I need to draw a hole, and I move the hole to the center of the fillet. And I select the type of the hole to get the right thread for it. So everything is done because I have done previously. So just select the right size and thread step for your hole. Now in the next step, we need to duplicate it. So we need to click on array and then make array of 2 by 2. So select the dimension first and then drag it and then get it by 2, and the distance is given. Yes, it is 1 34. And the same to the other directions. So you just drag it and then get it to 2 and set the dimensions is 50. And that is. So now we already have the detail and just save it. I save it to another project. So exercise 2 and enter the drawing name so I will not be confused later. So base. Okay, now let's have a look at the next detail. So I'm going to draw the roller. And my strategy is I'm going to draw the cross section first and then revolve it about the middle axis. And I can also draw just half of the cross section and then make a mirror. So now let's make a new design. And I need to create a new sketch first. And as before, I use line tool to draw my outline of the cross sections. Let's check the dimensions. You know, because there are many dimensions, so you may not be able to remember them all. If you have 2 monitors, you can draw on one monitor and get the dimensions on the other monitor. It may double your speed. Okay, now I need to set the dimension to have the correct size. The last one I forgot. So 45 minus 32 divided by 2. Yep, I think it's okay to me. So in the next step, I need to do the fillet for the round corner. So click on fillet and click on the point. And ignore the warning message because you're going to lose some connections, but that's okay. Let's double check. It seems fine to me. So now just mirror. You can select all and deselect the middle line as you did before, or you can select one by one. And then select the middle line. And here is my cross section area. Now what I need to do is I need to draw a middle axis on the top. So if you set the dimensions to something has no connection like this, so it will move the line, not the axis. So it's not what we need to do. Even when you try to change the order, it always moves something loose first. So therefore, it's not what we need. You should start from something has been grounded. So select this line and the axis and set it to 50. So now I have the cross section and the middle axis. I can revolve it. Just finish my sketch. And then go to the corner and then click on revolve. I already selected the sketch, so I just select the axis, and here is my detail. Yep, have a look around. I think it seems good to me. Yep, let's save it. Add the roller. And done. Now have a look on the next detail would be spindle, but spindle may be more difficult than the bush, so I try to draw the bush first. Like I did with the roller, I just draw the cross-section area first and then revolve about the middle axis. Okay, so the 16. I think I'm done. Now just revolve it. Go to the default corner and then revolve. Here is my bush. I think I have no problem with this. I can save it now. Yep. Okay, let's have a look at the next detail, which is a spindle. We are going to do some revolving about the middle axis first, and then do some horn into the detail. So in the next step, we need to create a sketch. And like we did before, we use the line tool to draw the outline of the detail. A good tip here is if you don't press enter, but you just left click, you can keep drawing the line without re-enter the hotkey L for line. And I found it quite handy to me. So here is a cross section, and we just do the revolvement about the middle axis, and here is detail. Now we need to do the chamfer at this corner and this corner. So just click on modify and select chamfer, and select the corner you want, and select the distance you want to do the chamfer. You can click on inspect to see if it's really 2mm chamfer. In the next step, we need to create two holes on the detail. So I use orbit to rotate to the side where I want to create the hole, and click on the hole and move my hole to the correct positions and enter the right dimension for my hole. You can double check the hole by click on visual style and then use a wireframe to see if your hole is correctly created. I think it's fine to me. Okay, so now I've moved back to the old visual style. In the next step, I need to create a hole from the top to the bottom. So if you click somewhere, it will make a perpendicular hole to the plane you choose. So my first step, I need to go back to the normal one, click on hole and click on the top to get the vertical hole down to the bottom. And now I need to select the right type and the right reference for the positions. So I set it about 50 millimeter from the end. And the right size for the hole. Let's double check it. Yeah, it's 14 without the nozzle. Yep, seems good to me. So we can double check it by go to the wireframe and rotate. I think it's fine to me. Now we can just save it and move to the next detail. So the last detail we need to draw is the bracket, which is complicated. I will draw from the base first and then draw the wall, and then I draw the other detail later. So let's start from the base of the bracket. So in the first step, we need to create a sketch, and I choose the bottom plane. I can do the fillet now and enter the radius is 12 millimeters, and I can extrude to get the base of the bracket. Now I can create two holes on the top. So click somewhere first and then drag it to the right position. I think its diameter is 12 millimeters, so that's okay to me. And I can make a pattern, or I copy, or I just create a new one. So here is the base. Now I need to draw the cutoff. Will be this cutoff, radius of 5 millimeters. And now I can extrude cut. Just go to the right corner first. And then extrude. Because you extrude to the other side, so therefore it must enter the minus value. And that is for me. So now I'm going to draw the vertical wall on this face. So I create a rectangular on this face. And I set dimension to it. So it is 32 by 9. It's quite handy that in SolidWorks and in Fusion 360, you can enter the formula for dimensions. And now I can extrude it up to get the wall. Now I need to draw the circular head of this one. So I select the middle point and draw the circle. Now I can extrude it. The different thing is that I can extrude both sides. For the main side, I extrude by 5 millimeters, and for the opposite side, I extrude by 9 millimeters. I forget to make the joint. Let's click again. Extrude. Two sides. 5 for one side and 9 millimeters for the other side. And please select joint so it will have the same body. Now we need to cut off the thing in the middle first. So just click on the face and then extrude cut by 9 millimeters. Yep. Now I can do fillet for the bottom corner. Now I need to draw the last detail. The one from this side would be this one. The height of the prism is about 40 millimeters. So I need to draw a rectangle on this face first. The dimensions was 10 and it is at the middle. It's good to me. Now I can extrude it up and then cut it off later to get a triangle cross sections. I need my corner. Okay, just use orbit. Now can extrude it up by 40 millimeters. Yep, 40 millimeters. If you use a tapo angle, you will get it in the wrong directions. So therefore, I recommend you to use 40 first and then back to 0. I recommend you to use the cut off later because the tapo angle is not the right option for you. Just draw a line to divide this cross section into 2 parts and then extrude cut one. Yep. So I think it's fine. Now the last step is to fillet the corner. So I select all of the required corner. And enter the radius. I think they are all good to me. This is a bracket I need and I can just save it. At this step, we finish all 5 parts and we are going to do the assembly in the next part of the tutorial. Thank you very much for your attention and see you next time.